Okay. Hi, everyone. Our group, we are focusing on a sports nutritionist in the exercise science field. My name is McKenzie.
My name's Erin.
My name's Nick.
I'm Tom.
All right, let's get to it. So what exactly does a sports nutritionist do? These people provide guidance with the impact of food and nutrition on the health of well-being of athletes and other clients. So not only do these people work with athletes, they can work with anyone that needs nutritional guidance to help them improve their day-to-day life or performance goals. These sports nutritionists specifically ask athletes to find diets and foods that will help them perform better and meet that peak performance in which they wish to achieve. This understanding, you have to be able to provide information about the macronutrients, including the proteins, the carbohydrates, and then the lipid diets, as well as fluids, vitamin intake, and all that stuff in proper amounts, in order to provide energy for the body's growth and activity. We have a quick little YouTube video kind of describing a sports nutritionist in the D1 field. Erin's gonna pull that up right now. We'll take a look at this.
My name is John Tangway. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist, and I'm the assistant athletic director for performance nutrition at Texas A&M University. My undergraduate degree was in zoology, and I was always interested in the life sciences, but didn't really know how I wanted to apply it. So I ended up taking a grad class in nutritional biochemistry. During my first rotation in my dietetic internship, I worked here at Texas A&M during fall football camp and just loved it. And that was how it all kind of clicked.
So as you can hear, he didn't have that exercise science background that we all, either AT or exercise science, are planning on having. But this is something that you can go into if you don't necessarily have that exercise science background. Also, another important information he did say was his internship. He did do it at Texas A&M, which is a huge school. So honestly, it's all about that internship, your networking skills, and how well you can move forward with that as well.
As far as sports dietetics, it's really exciting. It's a really growing field, and it's a great time to be a part of this. We have 3 full-time sports dietitians here on staff. We work with all 22 teams here at Texas A&M to make the nutrition services available for all of our athletes. Texas A&M is in the SEC West, so we were in one of the most competitive conferences in college football, and it's really rewarding to work with these elite athletes, and help them to customize their nutrition and to really make the most out of how they're fueling their athletic performance. My day starts with breakfast at 6 a.m. and goes all the way through dinner at 8 p.m. Workouts generally start around 7 o'clock. So I am in setting out hydration products for our athletes, snacks, and other nutrition supplies that they can have around their training. We serve 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner in our dining hall. So I'm in there interacting with the athletes, helping them put their plates together at meal times. And we want to make sure that if they're not getting what they need from their diet, that we provide them with additional vitamins and minerals to really support their performance.
So as you can see in this video, he is not only working with the whole team, he's working with the individual athletes. So one athlete might have different nutritional needs than another athlete if you're working with a quarterback or a lineman. So you're going to have to do different things and different steps in order to fulfill, again, that nutritional need for that individual.
I also wanted to add that in this video specifically, you can see that he's not just in an office, strictly working office with a whole team. He's in the dining halls and really closely connected with the team, and like McKenzie said, at their individual needs, the different nutrition supplements that individually each player needs to be at their peak performance.
We weigh the guys in before and after practice to help monitor hydration, making sure that they're hydrated throughout the week, and give them education on how to rehydrate themselves. Our athletes are working hard. They're stressing their bodies out there at practice. So it's really important that we're making sure that when they come off the field, they get the nutrients that they need, they get the protein, they get the carbohydrates, they get the fluids to recover, and then go up to dinner and eat a good solid meal. And one of the things I like about the job is just the personal connection that you have with the athletes. You really get to know them. You get to know what foods they like, what foods they don't like. You think about the individual athletes and really try to customize things to meet their specific needs. I work very closely with our chef and our dining hall to write menus that are not only healthy, but are fun and are creative. And
Just something quick to add. Not only is he working by himself, he's working with other staff in the college. He's working with the dining hall crew, the coaches, the strength coach, all that stuff. So it all has a role in these sports nutritionists, their job satisfaction. Also that he did mention that he's working one-on-one with these athletes. He's seeing them grow. He's seeing how their personalities are. So he is having that positive outlook from this job, which is always a good thing. We'll talk more about this later in our presentation about the job satisfaction and what that entitles with the positives and the negatives as well.
Also, I wanted to add that with his like nutrition, it's not just quote unquote like the bulking or the like getting to a peak performance in terms of nutrients, but it's also the recovery process and getting that nutrition to make sure that the athletes that are working really hard and destroying their muscles and rebuilding their muscles are getting the proper nutrition to recover, but also to continue to grow and get stronger.
Really encourage them to come in and eat and really enjoy the food and make them into a better athlete and a healthier individual as well. But when it comes to counseling, a lot of my counseling interactions are casual in the weight room, in the dining hall, giving guys feedback on what they're doing from a recovery standpoint, from a hydration standpoint. We do one-on-one counseling in the office. If there's guys who want more in-depth information, I can make the meal plans. If the athletes have clinical issues that are affecting their nutrition, we do clinical nutrition counseling as well. And then we work with administrators, making sure that there are places where we can distribute the nutrition supplies that the athletes need when we're designing new facilities. You know, for me, when I'm eating well and eating healthy, you know, it just makes me feel better. I'm an endurance athlete, run 2 or 3 marathons a year. I use my knowledge to help fuel my body, and I love to share, you know, my passion for that with the athletes. I think it's really important and exciting, us as registered dietitians, working with individuals to help keep them healthy and live a healthy and happy, long, productive life.
Perfect. So we'll hop back onto our presentation. That was a really good video, just seeing how different this field is and how many different places you can work. The individual we interviewed, she works at a Division III school on the academic side of things. So focusing more on that clinical perspective, someone working out in that field with the college athletes is really cool to see and interesting.
Alrighty, so moving on into the workplace setting, generally for nutritionists, they have a huge range. So hospitals, rehabilitation clinics, like we saw in the video, D1 through D3 universities, public schools, athletic clubs, gyms, private and public practices, just all around. The typical salary or average salary from data shown in 2021 is $54,345, which is roughly $25.65 per hour. And depending on your credentials, you can get hired at different places, which typically means more money. And then moving on, they develop meal plans and menus for athletes like we saw in the video. They're very closely connected with the chefs and cooks of universities and other clinic-based areas, just to make sure that their athletes and clients have the proper nutrition that they need to achieve to or get to their peak performance or healthy standards that they wish to reach. So specifically the client population, again, is has a huge range. There's a range from the elderly patients down to high school athletes. Anyone basically looking for improvements in their nutritional goals or needs, whether that's for chronic issues or just simply to become healthier and be able to perform a sport or activity at a certain level. They can offer one-on-one training and counseling. because nutrition is not a one size fits all need. Every client is different and has different problems and needs depending on what type, what position, what athlete, or just their clinical needs in general. They can also work with athletes and patients who have pre-existing medical conditions who require some sort of nutritional change, or simply acute patients who need a quick nutrition balance.
I'm going to pop in and say one quick thing about that client population. I think it's really great to have that exercise science background like we are learning, just because you are going to be working with all of these different patients. So again, like we're learning in class, working with the different special populations is very important, because not just focusing on those athletes is really a good tool to have when you're creating your resume and as well as advancing in your career.
Alrighty, moving on.
All right, so with the employed, taking nutrition and science-based classes in undergrad is extremely important to set you up for the future. You need to receive a bachelor's degree in exercise science, nutrition, etc. Certified sports nutritionist from the International Society of Sports, also known as the CISSN. You can get the NASM, which is the fitness nutrition specialist, registered dietitian, credentialed if needed, the Commission on Dietetic Registration, CDR, oversees the registration examination of dietitian, which leads to the registered dietitian nutritionalist credential.
So like Erin was saying in the beginning of our presentation, having more of these credentials is always a good thing because it will increase that that yearly salary. Registered dietitians, you don't have to become one if you are going to be a sports nutritionist. It does look good because you do sit for that exam and you do have that registered dietitian credentialed. But one of the most important things you do want to focus on is that NASM FSN credential. That's what sets you up for working one-on-one with those athletes in those special populations for that sports nutritionist degree.
For certification, you have to pass an exam to receive any credentials. You must complete at least a bachelor's degree and complete an internship in order to sit for the exam. The exam consists of 5 parts: food service system, nutrition and human health, care and assessment, clinical intervention and monitoring, and practice management. Certification examination of nutrition specialists is administered by the Board of Certification of Nutrition Specialists, which is known as the BCNS.
I'll go over this real quick. For the job satisfaction, like we were saying in the beginning, they're working one-on-one with these clients in these different age groups. So they do have the tools to provide them with a better outlook on life and seeing how healthy living can improve their lifestyle. In terms of the flexibility, stress levels, and mobility, they are going to have, again, the good with the bad days. They're going to have clients that aren't seeing results. They're going to have clients that are overseeing the results. So finding a happy medium with those individuals is going to be super important. Just like anyone in that exercise science field working with people, you're going to have people progressing faster than others, and you're going to have people progressing slower than others. So it's good to just know how to manage that and know how to handle your stress levels. These clients also have, these nutritionists also have that flexibility of working. So whether they're with an athlete, they're with them breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whether they're doing a private practice with people, they can kind of give at-home programs and kind of balance out their work-life balance, which is always a good thing.
So our person that we had to interview was Dr. Jennifer Fields. She is a sports nutrition and intro to nutrition teacher at Springfield College. So her education and credentials were, she was an NSCA CSCS certified and ISSN CISSN certified as a sports nutritionist and NASM CPD certified for a personal trainer. So you're not just going to be certified as a sports nutritionist, you're going to be working with the athletes in other ways. And it's important to kind of have background knowledge of different fields that you'll be interacting with. So she and Doctor of Physiology, Kinesiology, Master of Science, Health Promotion, and Nutrition Education Certified Strengths and Conditioning Specialist, Sports Nutritionist, Consultant for Sports Performance Facilities and Athletic Teams. So she provides nutrition counseling for high school and collegiate athletes. Her research interests involve athlete load monitoring and optimizing sports performance, and nutrition interventions for athlete health, performance, and body composition. So some of the duties that she performed in her workplace was she was involved with research and it tested athlete load monitoring to optimize sports performance and different nutrition interventions that can be taken for the athlete's health, performance, and body composition overall. And currently, she is working as an academic teacher at Springfield College. She teaches Introduction to Nutrition, Sports Nutrition, and various other courses in that degree field. She focuses on macronutrients and how to get metabolized in the body to produce energy, focus on different vitamin and mineral intake, all of which is very important, I think, to be able to understand as a sports nutritionist. It's the basis for your entire major, pretty much. In the past, she's worked in commercial gyms as well as private gyms, giving nutritional coaching to athletes and special population clients. She's providing, in that we can provide individualized meal plans for an individual based on their specific goals or needs. And she also works with high school athletes, college athletes, and people that have diabetes, as their nutritional needs are going to vary drastically for what they want to achieve.
Yeah, so that kind of wraps up our presentation about sports nutritionists. We hope you learned a lot, found some interest in this, and maybe this is something that you feel like you might want to pursue in the future. So thank you.
Thank you.